Meow has come back with a double single EP. I specifically asked for this, and my prayers have been answered. I think releasing 2 singles at the same time is incredibly smart and effective and necessary, given what new groups out of YG Entertainment and the Black Label are working against. They're fighting an uphill battle for sure, and I think that's purely the consequence of how little YG Entertainment has done in the past decade in the industry. Most of their artists experience insanely infrequent comebacks, and as we get deeper into the core of the 5th generation, both Baby Monster and Meow seem to be suffering as a result of their company and label's kind of unreliable legacy. For as little as YG Entertainment has done, and given the reputation of infrequent comebacks, the songs that are released out of the company are met with so incredibly unrealistic expectations. In retrospect, there's no way a song like Meow could have ever stood a chance against the legacy of group releases that preceded it. There's too much working against it that YG and the Black Label seem intent on just ignoring for some reason. I'm of the strong opinion that whatever we can call the YG formula is fine, but it's the absence of new ideas that burdens it beyond what's capable for a group who is just debuting. Meow the song really suffered all on its lonesome. There was nothing else for fans and the general public to work with, so it was kind of torn apart by people looking for some kind of substance that in the end was never there. If we're not in the business of releasing many albums or albums just yet, I think the multi-single EP strategy is the next best thing. And so the Toxic EP brings us, of course, the title track Toxic and the song Body, which will be promoted as a secondary single throughout this comeback. I think I like Toxic. It's a very simple song and it seems very inspired by a lot of recent trends in pop music, which I actually really appreciate. The emphasis on the fragile sounding falsetto vocals over the soft electronic beats reminds me a lot of We Can't Be Friends by Ariana Grande, released earlier this year. The restrained, pausing vocals in the verses especially give off that exact same vibe. It follows a similar confessional narrative as it relates to relationships and love and carries a lot of the same musical qualities. I'm also reminded of similar songs in K-pop, Cupid, and Ditto most especially. Toxic measures up well in my mind, but falls a little short on account of the lyrics for me personally. It lacks the kind of overly confessional, surprisingly introspective and raw framework that songs like Ditto and We Can't Be Friends carry. I think that is a pretty important barrier to entry for these types of melancholy, stylistic songs to be effective at what they do. At a surface level, it seems that the emphasis for Toxic is its lyrics and atmospheric production, striking a balance between a relatable message and the overall aesthetic. Considering both equally as important, this song does relegate itself to being primarily, if not only, concerned with style rather than music progression and substance, which I'm sure a lot of people will take issue with. Toxic doesn't really go anywhere, but I don't necessarily think it needs to. It's a song that concerns itself with style. I think that's the move for Meow as far as their identity past debut is going to go. In a similar way to Meow the song, in most of Baby Monster's releases, there is a striking focus on the way that songs are presented. There is a debilitating focus on the style of a release that substance and song quality often go out the window. I think this philosophy for YG Entertainment explains issues with outdated production all around. They don't really compromise or reconcile with recent music trends to match the style they're going for. It's outdated all around. Toxic behaves in similar ways, but also and again does seem inspired somewhat by recent releases in pop music. There is some type of compromise being met here, but as for whether or not that will be enough for people, specifically those looking for more substance out of these tracks, that will come down to subjective music taste, of course. Is this balance between style and substance enough for you? I think for me personally, it is. I appreciate that I think 2 of the members helped contribute to writing the lyrics for this song. For as early as we are into this group's career, I really appreciate that. It's a take it or leave it as it is kind of song. And as a compliment to that, I think Body bringing back the energy of their debut is going to either solidify people's understanding of what Meow is meant to be and or solidify people's condemnation of all things YG in the 5th generation. Despite being 2 minutes, I think Body does the better job at conveying this I'm better than everyone else concept. It's bouncy and melodic at times and flippant with tinges of fun that take us along for the ride. It doesn't take itself seriously musically given the lyrical content, which to me makes for the better concept overall. There's a charm to Body that Meow the song lacked in a lot of ways. All of that being said, Meow is currently #1 on the choujimi charts. I've always said that I will probably come to like it in the end, and now I do. I see the vision for this group. As per previous discussions about this on my channel, Meow develops an image of style rather than substance, which is insanely abrasive to some people in today's current music marketplace. A lot of people want substance, something that they can sink their teeth into, which Meow does not seem to be here to provide for the time being. I do completely understand if this music isn't for you. There is a lot of potential resting underneath these quite uninspired songs. I get the point of frustration and the want for YG Entertainment to honestly cut it out and get back to releasing songs with dimension. YG Entertainment has rarely ever been in the ministry of releasing songs with an emphasis on substance. It's not never happened before. I'm thinking 2NE1's Ugly, Blackpink's Lovesick Girls, but YG has pretty reliably been the style company, more concerned with the way the material is presented, so much to the point that the material itself is often overlooked. That seems to increasingly be the case as we get into the 5th generation. There is quite a lack of inspired work coming out of this company. And I'm kind of confused why Teddy is only writing on these songs. I don't understand what's going on there, especially with the reception that their debut got. Obviously, he is the CEO and actively approves these tracks, like writing on them and so on, but I don't know, maybe I'm just missing something, or maybe I'm giving too much credit to YG Entertainment, as a couple of people pointed out in regards to Baby Monster. I don't think this company is playing four-dimensional chess with the releases. I think they're just stubbornly pushing through any and all opposition of feedback to herald in their own goals. As for what those goals are for these newer groups is kind of what I have trouble fully wrapping my head around. Yeah, but overall, good. I like this EP. I hope we remain with the multi-song release strategy. I think that'll be the best going forward to help develop Meow's identity clearly, for better or for worse, and whether or not people like it. I think it'll be good to fully establish an identity and soundscape for this group as soon as possible. To me, that means projects. I need a mini album at least with more than 2 songs. Square Up by Blackpink to me is the pinnacle of the stylistic YG release, followed up by maybe the album. The Black Label and Teddy certainly know how to do it. They've done it before. Yeah, I hope we see a mini album from them soon. What else? Oh, I need them to come back soon. Baby Monster had a pretty frequent release cadence in the first year of them debuting. I hope we can get the same thing for Meow. No more standalone digital singles from this point forward. I am the #1 standalone digital singles hater. I really am growing to not be able to stand it, and Meow's debut has certainly expressed why. If this group is mainly focusing on the style of the music being released, we need more songs to work with. Yeah, I think that's all for me. Roughly, this EP outlines to me that Meow is a group who will lean more towards stylistic releases, even if it comes at the sacrifice of substance. That works for some people and seriously does not work for others. I'm sure we'll be hearing about that from them soon. But overall, I can personally get behind an EP like this. I wish Meow the best of luck going forward. I do hope that we see them soon. No hiatuses, no standalone digital singles. Enough is enough. Okay, thanks for watching this. If you did, let me know what you think about this. Do you see this in a different way? What are your thoughts on style versus substance as it relates to Meow and your own personal expectations of K-pop or music in general? Thanks again for watching. Subscribe if you want to, and I will see you next time.